having a heat wave, a tropical heat.
Hello and welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie. We got our beach hats on today because this week we're escaping from winter. So we've got some tropical reads or books that are a bit of an escape for you. So Jill, kick us off.
So my first one is The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. From New York Times bestselling author Rachel Hawkins comes a delicious, wicked, gothic suspense set in an Italian villa with a dark history for fans of Lucy Foley and Ruth Ware. I'm still on my thriller kick, if you haven't noticed. As kids, Emily and Chess were inseparable, but by their 30s, their bond has been strained by the demands of their adult lives. So when Chess suggests a girls' trip to Italy, Emily jumps at the chance to reconnect with her best friend. Villa Estes in Orvieto is a high-end holiday home by now, but in 1974 it was known as Villa Rosato and rented to the summer to a notorious rock star, Noel Gordon. In an attempt to reignite his creative spark, Noel invites up-and-coming musician Pierce Sheldon to join him, as well as Pierce's girlfriend Mary and her stepsister Lara. But as he sets in motion a chain of events that lead to Mary writing one of the greatest horror novels of all time, Lara composing a platinum album, and ends in Pierce's brutal murder. As Emily digs into the villa's complicated history, she begins to think there might be more to the story than that fateful summer in 1974. But perhaps Pierce's murder wasn't just a tale of sex, drugs, rock and roll gone wrong, but that something more sinister might have occurred, and that there might be clues hidden in the now iconic works that Mary and Lara left behind. Yet the closer that Emily gets to the truth, the more tension she feels develop in between her and Chess, as secrets from the past come to light. Equally dangerous betrayals and present also emerge, and begins to look like the villa will claim another victim before the summer ends. So, you go to a villa and you might die.
My first pick is Mary Alice Monroe's Beach House for Rent, and this was published back in 2017. When Cara rents out her quaint beach house on Isle of Palms to Heather Wyatt for the entire summer, it's a win-win by any standard. Cara's generating income necessary to keep husband Brett's ecotourism boat business afloat. And anxiety-prone Heather, a young artist who's been given a commission to paint birds on postage stamps, has a quiet space in which to work and tend to her pet canaries uninterrupted. It isn't long, however, before both women's idyllic summers are altered irrevocably. The alluring shorebirds and the man who rescues them begin to draw Heather out of the shell she's cultivated toward a world of adventure, and maybe even love. At the same time, Cara's life reels with sudden tragedy, and she wishes only to return to the beach house that had once been her port amidst life's storm. When Heather refuses to budge from her newfound sanctuary, so begins the unlikeliest of rooming situations. While they start out as strangers, as everything around the women fall apart, they learn that the only thing they can really rely on is each other. And like the migrating shorebirds that come to the island for the summer, these two women of different generations must rediscover the unique strengths so that by summer's end, they too can take flight in ways they never imagined possible. So. Nice. The beach house. Looks nice.
It does, doesn't it? Warm. So this is another thriller, One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. I promise they're not all like that. The latest twisty psychological thriller from international bestseller Lucy Clark, One of the Girls is a delicious story of a bachelorette trip on a stunning Greek island that ends in murder. So I don't want to make you afraid to go to the islands, but... well, maybe my books will. It was supposed to be the perfect weekend away. 6 very different women traveled to sun-soaked Greek island for a bachelorette trip to celebrate Lexi's upcoming wedding. From the glorious ocean views to the quaint tavernas and the whitewashed streets, the vacation seems too good to be true. But dangerous undercurrents run beneath the sunset swims and midnight cocktails, because each of the women is hiding a secret. Someone is determined to make sure that Lexi's marriage never happens, and that one of them doesn't leave the island alive. Gripping, twisty, and full of sun-soaked suspense, this timely thriller examines the joys of female friendship as well as the deadly consequences when a relationship goes wrong. One of the Girls is a killer.
I'm taking a page out of your book. My next one is a psychological mystery. This is The Last Resort by Marissa Stapley, and this was published in 2019. The Harmony Resort promises hope for struggling marriages. Run by celebrity power couple Dr. Miles and Grace Markell, The Last Resort offers a chance for partners to repair their relationships in a luxurious setting on the gorgeous Mayan Riviera. Joanna and Ben have a marriage that looks perfect on the surface, but in reality, they don't know each other at all. Shell and Colin fight constantly. After all, Colin is a workaholic, and Shell always comes second to his job as an exec at a powerful mining company. But what has really torn them apart is really too devastating to talk about. When both couples begin Harmony's intensive therapy program, it becomes clear that Harmony is not all it seems, and neither are Miles and Grace themselves. What are these doctors hiding, and what price will these couples pay for finding out? As a deadly tropical storm descends on the coast, trapping both the hosts and the guests on the resort, secrets begin to be revealed. Loyalties are tested, and not one single person or their marriage will remain unchanged by what follows next. So, if this sounds intriguing, check out The Last Resort by Marissa Stapley.
So my next one's going back to the Greek islands, but this one's a little different. Ariadne by Jennifer Saint, which was published in 2021. Ariadne, Princess of Crete, grows up greeting the dawn from her beautiful dancing floor and listening to her nursemaid's stories of gods and heroes. But beneath her golden palace echo the ever-present hoofbeats of her brother, the Minotaur, a monster who demands a blood sacrifice. When Theseus, the prince of Athens, arrives to vanquish the beast, Ariadne sees in his green eyes not a threat but an escape. Defying the gods, betraying her family and country, and risking everything for love, Ariadne helps Theseus kill the Minotaur. And will Ariadne's decision ensure her happy ending? And what of Phaedra, the beloved younger sister she leaves behind? Hypnotic, propulsive, and utterly transporting, Jennifer Saint's Ariadne forges a new epic, one that puts the forgotten women of Greek mythology back in the heart of the story as they strive for a better world. So, a little Greek mythology for you.
My third pick is called An Embarrassment of Mangoes, a Caribbean Interlude by Anne Vanderhoof, and this was published back in 2003. This is a book which is a chronicle of leaving the Type A lifestyle behind and discovering the secrets of life in the Caribbean. It's good to be. Yeah. Who hasn't fantasized about chucking the job, saying goodbye to the rat race, and escaping to some exotic destination in search of sun, sand, and a different way of life? Canadians Anne Vanderhoof and her husband Steve did just that. In the mid-1990s, they were driven 40-something professionals who were desperate for a break from their deadline-dominated, career-defined lives. So they quit their jobs, rented out their house, moved onto a 42-foot sailboat called Receta, which is recipe in Spanish, and set sail for the Caribbean on a 2-year voyage of culinary and cultural discovery. Exchanging business clothes for bare feet, they drop anchor in 16 countries, 47 individual islands, where they explore secluded beaches and shop all the local markets. Along the way, Anne records the delectable dishes they encounter, from cracked conch in the Bahamas to curried lobster in Grenada, from Dominican papaya salsa to classic West Indian rum punch, and incorporates these recipes into the text so that the readers can participate in their adventure. So this is from the nonfiction selection, but I thought this sounded like a really cool book, and it wasn't a book I was familiar with from 2003. So, An Embarrassment of Mangoes.
I'd like to do that. Go
up on a sailboat and
live on a boat and just eat food.
I would have no problem with that.
All right, so this Stephen Rowley, he wrote The Guncle, and I remember that it was taking place in Florida, and it reminded me of Florida. I think I included it in a Florida thing. This one goes somewhere else, but it's also a celebration. The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley, published in 2023. It's a big chill for our time, celebrating decades-long friendship and promises, especially to ourselves, by the best-selling and beloved author of The Guncle. It's been a minute, or 5 years, since Jordan Vargas last saw his college friends, and 28 years since their graduation when their adult lives officially began. Now Jordan, Jordy, Naomi, Craig, and Mariel find themselves on the brink of a new decade, with all the responsibilities of adulthood, yet no closer to having their lives figured out, though not for lack of trying. Over the years, they reunited in Big Sur to honor the decades-old pact, to throw each living funerals, celebrations to remind themselves that life is worth living, that their lives mean something to one another, if not themselves. But this reunion is different. They're not gathered as they were to bolster Marielle as her marriage crumbled, to lift Naomi after her parents died, or to intervene when Craig pleaded guilty to art fraud. This time, Jordan is sitting on a secret that will upend their pack. A deeply honest tribute to the growing pains of selfhood and the people who keep us going, coupled with Stephen Rowley's signature humor and heart. Celebrants was a moving tale about false invincibility of youth and beautiful ways in which friendship helps us celebrate our lives, even amid the deepest challenges of living. So The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley.
And that's a new one, right?
Yeah, from 2023.
Okay. My fourth pick is an author I've read, but I have not read this book, The Wisdom of Sally Red Shoes by Ruth Hogan. And this was published back in 2018. Masha is drowning. Once a spirited, independent woman with a rebellious streak, her life has been forever changed by a tragic event 12 years ago. Unable to let go of her grief, she finds solace in the silent company of the souls of her local Victorian cemetery and at the town's open-air swimming pool, where she seeks refuge underwater, safe from the noise and the pain. But a chance encounter with two extraordinary women, the fabulous and wise Kitty Muriel, a convent girl turned magician's wife turned 70-something roller disco fanatic, and the mysterious Sally Red Shoes, a bag lady with a prodigious voice, opens up a whole new world of possibilities and the chance to start living again, until the fateful day when the past comes roaring back. So this author is also the author of The Keeper of Lost Things. I read that book. I enjoyed that book. So if you want to check out another book of hers, The Wisdom of Sally Red Shoes, and see how a woman who needs to kind of get on with a new path in life does so.
So my last one, I think we're going back to the Greek islands for this one. The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Two teenagers, a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot, meet at a taverna on an island they both call home. In the taverna, hidden beneath garlands of garlic, chili peppers, and creeping honeysuckle, Costas and Daphne grow in their forbidden love for each other. A fig tree stretches through a cavity in the roof, and this tree bears witness to their hushed, happy meetings and eventually to their silent, surreptitious departures. The tree is there when the war breaks out, when the capital is reduced to ashes and rubble, and when the teenagers vanished. Decades later, Costas returns. He is a botanist looking for native species, but really he's searching for his lost love. Years later, a ficus carica grows in the back garden of a house in London where Ada Kazantikikas lives. This tree is her only connection to an island she never visited, her only connection to her family's troubled history and her complex identity as she seeks to untangle years of secrets to find her place in the world. So, the Island of the Missing Trees. It seems a little different to me. And I like it when trees are characters.
My last pick, just love the cover of this one. Helen Hildebrand's Winter in Paradise, and this is back from 2018. Welcome to Paradise, the first book in the Paradise series. It has everything that readers have come to know and love about this author's novels, plus a healthy dose of intrigue. Irene Steele's idyllic life, house, husband, family, is shattered when she is woken up by a late-night phone call. Her beloved husband has been found dead. But before Irene can process this tragic news, she must confront the perplexing details of her husband's death. He was found on St. John Island, a tropical paradise far removed from their suburban life. Leaving the cold winter behind, Irene flies down to the beautiful Caribbean beaches of St. John, only to make another shocking discovery. Her husband had a secret second family. As Irene investigates the mysterious circumstances of her husband's death, she's plunged into a web of intrigue and deceit. This exciting first book in the Paradise series will transport readers to a new beach locale, another world that Ellen Hildebrand knows as well as her beloved Nantucket, and have them longing for winter. Winter in Paradise. Gal sitting on the beach in her straw hat.
Oh, she looks like she's having a good time. Well, if you need to escape from winter, even by book, we hope we helped you find something to read that will make you feel a little warmer.
Thanks for watching our videos. You can find us on Facebook. You find us on YouTube. Jill puts our videos on our Kimberly Public Library webpage. I think our winter one is currently up there, so we'll switch you from winters to a tropical escape. And until next time, we thank you for watching. Bye.